Hey, thanks for pushing the time. You're so flexible. That was sweet.
Yeah, I'm happy that we get to do this.
I just processed the last hour. It worked out really good. I had a session that was offered, and um, last week I had pushed speaker view, or no, I had pinned you. And so the recording, which I thought was such a great session, and the audio is great, but the video is all you. It didn't do both of us. And I as we dive in here, like I'm just sharing, like I had a week of feeling uh really bad about myself and like letting you down, and like it it became bigger than it should be. Like we can make more conversations and we're gonna be okay. Like I see the logic of it, but in my body and my like like I was, and it's so good to see you. Like I feel back in touch with enthusiasm and excitement and confidence, but I lost it for like the week. I really let it uh block me, debilitate. Like it just I shut down. I didn't do any creative stuff. I didn't have any of that energy. I like feels icky admitting it. Like
That's what I'm afraid watching stuff, the impact that it'll have on me. So I haven't watched any of my stuff that I've recorded with you or with other people, or even like the podcast that I did or anything.
yeah, that too. But this was a technical, like clerical error I made, and I felt like, oh, I should be more professional. I should do it this.
Mm.
Um, and I was so excited. I didn't even take like one picture. Like I'd done my hair. Like I just felt like really good. Like I felt like for me, it felt like I was the best I'd been online, videoed, recorded. And so I just got so mad at myself. And I'm like, I've done all this work. Like, what is going on? I've been able to stay calm in my relationship and all these cool things. I've grown so much. And then that setback. And I'm like, okay, still have work to do. Still got to do more, you know? So that's
So
what
it
I've
was
been up
like,
to.
so it wasn't even so much about like I'm not showing up the way that I want. It was just like more of like a little like technical like error that was
Hmm. Hmm.
like triggered this like
Yeah.
lots of challenging stuff.
Yeah. Just like, it just took on a life of it's like, you're not good at this. You shouldn't do it. Like, even up to today, I was just like, how am I gonna I felt like, how am I gonna tell you I ruined our cake? That's how it felt. Like I'm letting you down.
Oh, oh, I feel so so much compassion for the little part of you that wants to like get it right
Yeah.
and do it perfect.
Yeah. That little part was like, and then I just like I was like, whoa, I just kind of let it bother me all week. And I'm like, okay, this doesn't this doesn't warrant the amount of time it took in my head, like the amount of energy it took from my life. Like that's like it doesn't warrant that, you know? The mistake didn't cause, and even one of the biggest mistakes I ever made with the dog stuff and a dog botched health thing, and I made mistakes, like even that, when I had to work through it, I still had to forgive my, I that was really hard. But this is not like on the scale, like nothing bad really happened. I thought it was a great episode, so I was really like, so anyway, it's here now that I outed myself. I'm not a perfect person, and there was maybe like a an ego part that was like, oh, I can do this, I know what I'm doing, and I don't know, I'm learning as I go.
Yeah.
So that's been here. It's slowly wiggling around, and I feel really good to be with you here, and I'm happy to be back. So I don't know if I'm living in the past sharing that.
Well, it sounds like you're being with the part that makes mistakes in a lighter way. Like being with it was being with the part that makes mistakes was causing like challenging feelings to come up, but now it seems like there's more like lightness and
I feel hopeful again. Like, okay, I'm gonna keep, at it. Like keep at it. Like it's like and not and watch when I've got that attitude of I've got this. Just
And
let
there was also the sweetness when you did the voice for the part that was like, how am I gonna tell her that I ruined everything? And then there was this like sweetness in the way that you were doing the voice of that part too.
yeah. I think it worked out to have that extra hour because I was really knotted up. So I thought you were in my knot because I felt like I let you down. So it's good to come kind of work through it a little bit. So um these modalities are so great. But I we got into some stuff in this session and I was like, oh, what's that part called? And I the part that gets just so like if you make a mistake, you're not worthy of doing anything. Like just
The part
you're
that's
done.
judging the part that makes mistakes.
It felt like there wasn't any space to look at the part that makes a mistake as a part. It felt like I'm looking at it. That's you. Like it feels whatever that part that's looking is like that's who you are, and you're not worthy of anything because you did something stupid. And it doesn't see the mistake as a little part of me. It sees the mistake as like it blows it up like that's all of you, all of me. So I don't know what that is. That's a false something, right?
It's like in IFS, it'll be like there's a protector that's trying to keep you from feeling the pain of the part that made a mistake, and then there was some kind of like painful thing that happened after the mistake. So it's like berating you to make you to like to protect you from making that mistake, but
Right.
the berating is causing that same wound anyway.
Yes. Yes. It feels good to hear it spoken.
How long has it been there? How long has this part been doing that?
Oh,
Berating you from
yeah,
making mistakes.
a long time. Different mistakes, but yeah, right. But which part we're talking about? The part that's the part that protects me from making more mistakes by just shutting me down. Yeah, that's been there very strongly 20 something years. Like the create so I'm seeing it now like I'm seeing what I would track as my I tracked in the past as insecurity and like doing a comedy show and then shutting down and then doing it like I tracked it as insecurity. But looking at it right now, it's the protector of not wanting to get hurt again. But it's deeper. You said it in a way that landed deeper, and I right now I'm not.
Yeah, it's like protecting like a wounded part that experienced some like this isn't the first time you've if you, this is like a you're feeling like an older wound that was there that maybe that wants to be witnessed like some other time when you made a mistake and all these challenging feelings came up around it or worthiness is one of the words that you had
Yeah.
used before too. I was kind of looking for my little list of questions. Sometimes when I feel insecurity, I look at my list of questions and then I'll be like, oh, that's a good one to ask. But I don't know where they're at. So I'll just have to do it off the top of my head.
So we're looking at the
So,
protector part.
yeah. And it's trying to, well, the theory is that it's trying to protect you from feeling the pain of this wounded part. But let's ask the protector, this protector part in its own words. Like, what is it? well, the first step is giving it more meat and bones. So what else do you notice about this part that berates you when you make mistakes?
Um, I mean, it hurts. It physically hurts. It like wants me to just not exist, like to like erase myself.
Do you notice the hurt anywhere, the physical hurt anywhere on your body?
It feels like my all my skin is peeled off.
So noticing the sensation of all your skin being peeled off and noticing, is the part saying, I want you to not exist? Or what is the part saying?
Yeah, it's kind of like you're safer if you just don't engage with the world. Stay away, stay. It's interesting that skin, it's like there's no like the cliche thick skin or whatever, like there's nothing there to protect me without my skin.
What happens if this part doesn't do its job?
Hmm. Oh, okay. It's the same answer, right? If it thinks I'm gonna keep making mistakes.
And what happens if you keep making mistakes?
I mean, then I get to live. I get to try new things. I get to expand, grow, feel free. Like not making mistakes doesn't feel like a good life.
Mm. So what is it trying to protect you from then if it's is it is it trying to protect you from something?
I mean about being vulnerable. It's like trying to protect me from being vulnerable. And it makes me feel so vulnerable, like peeling my skin off. Like it just feels so raw. But it's like stay safe in your lane. Don't try anything. Be humble.
How do you feel towards this part that's been trying to get you to stay safe and be humble?
I feel some appreciation and some understanding, a little bit of compassion.
Is that part responding to that appreciation and compassion?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that it needs from you to be able to take a step back so that we could see the one that it's trying to protect?
Definitely. I feel like nauseous. Does it need protector? Oh, I feel dizzy. What does it need?
And maybe it just wanted to be heard and acknowledged for that it's trying to protect you, and maybe just asking it, is it okay to see what you're trying to protect?
Is it okay to see what you're trying to protect? Yeah, stuff. Yeah,
Noticing what's there behind the. So if the judgment part is trying to protect you from making mistakes, what's it like to be with this part that's or is that what's behind the what's here now?
some softness and I feel like a deeper something connected to like feel more connected to something like there's a deeper connection to some versus feeling more alone. Like I was feeling very alone in it, and there's this feeling, as I say, it's weird. These words are coming out of my mouth, like, but yeah, I feel like connected to something bigger than myself.
Where do you feel that? You
Say
feel that
again?
in your body? Do you feel that in your body somewhere, the connection to something bigger than yourself?
Yeah, it feels like it's my whole torso all the way to my nose, like right here. There's just this feeling of okayness and spacious. And
Can you
it's
bring
something like I was talking to the part in that of the questions, and it was something about like, what are you gonna do now if it doesn't have to alarm every mistake? Like, and it was something I was asking it, like, could you support me when I make mistakes?
so if this part could have a new way of doing its job, how would that look like for this part?
Like, like that grace and like just trusting it's a process and learning as I go. And I'm not five. Like I don't need to learn these like the kind of mistakes I'm making aren't no, I don't want to, I'm stay humble. There always will be mistakes I can't see right now that I might make, but I just feel like I'm not a child needing guidance on. I'm like wanting to feel trust of my path and choices, and there might be mistakes along the way.
It sounds like there's also like a noticing of like something like the like that your age now versus some younger age.
Yeah,
And this part notices like the difference.
yeah, like I appreciate it. Like don't talk to strange people at a bar, watch your drink. Like there's like really important things we need to learn and not, and be more alarmed. Like, don't just leave your drink out at a bar. Just like I'm just trying to be dramatic about the bigger. But I'm older now. It's like, do I really have that many life lessons that I for safety? Life or death. Of course, I want some noise if there's a mistake. I want an alarm going off for like protection and stuff. But just for my creative arts, I can't I don't have enough time left forward to like shut down for a mistake and shut down on my time of using my time on earth for my passion and purpose. And I say that now, but I'm feeling like there's a this creative guilt, failure, holding myself back, going back. Like they're feeling into this really big thing I've been holding because we live now as this moment, but then I have like my history that I've been holding. Like I've been holding my history of my failures and my mistakes, and like, but on top of it, now I look back and go, well, I quit doing this for a year because I beat myself up, and now I'm looking back and go, I'm beating myself up for taking a year off, and I'm beating myself up for this pattern. And I just did it this last week. So I like, so now I'm this part like that's judging my whole history. And that's like live right now. Like I want to say thank you, I love you. Like it's like I want to forgive. Like there, yeah, I want to forgive something. Like there's this. I haven't forgiven myself for all these. Yeah, that's there. It took a long way. I haven't forgiven myself for a lot of my mistakes and the reaction to the mistakes, the reaction to the mistakes of of taking myself offline in the world. And I think I've been holding that as a grudge and judging myself and and using it as a block. That's that right now there's this feeling of forgiveness and acceptance for this pattern, for this constant pattern of life of shutting down, finding some small, like a technical error like that, like whatever. Like I've made up in my mind once at a comedy show, nobody was laughing. I played the tape a year later. It took me a year and people were totally laughing. But I created a story that seemed real. But I took a year off again, you know?
So
And
what
I,
I go ahead.
okay.
What I hear you saying is that you're noticing that this part that judges the part that makes mistakes, that there's a history of holding mistakes as failures, and then like that then there's like consequences for your like failure, like because there's a perceived failure, that then there's like a shutting down of the whole thing, and then it turns into this pattern of like holding, I think, did you say a grudge too or something?
Yeah. I
Or
feel
like,
like it was an unconscious grudge that we're just working through right now in real time. Like that I've just becoming aware of this anger I've had at this pattern, at the shutdowns. Like the mistakes of all like they feel no pain. Like all the mistakes I made in the last 20 years artistically, like I can't think of a single mistake because now I'm looking back like it was great I got on stage, it was great I did this, like so what, it wasn't a good show. Like I don't live in the pain of the mistakes, but the grudge is the pain of I quit, I gave up so many times, I walked away so many times when I had momentum and things like that. Like I kept running away and I'm here going, I'd be better off right now if I hadn't done all that, blah, 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 blah. And then it makes right now like cloudy, like murky. Like right now it's like a cloud, like not a clean cloud, a dirty cloud.
so right
But
now, but there was also forgiveness that was starting to come in.
yeah, forgiveness and just awareness of this cloud, like awareness that this has been here. That's what's live happening now, like awareness that I've been holding this thing, this pattern. So now I'm feeling like really a big gift that I went through it for this week, like that I did the thing. Like I'm feeling this really big gift, like, oh, this needed to be breathed and like looked at so I can keep, because I was like, I was on this train of momentum and I'm like, here we go. And then it did the thing and I'm like, it stopped. And I'm like, oh God, it's never gonna work. I'm always gonna stop. This is what I do. And then I'm a piece of shit. Like then the voice. And
And
right
then
now it's softening and it's like, okay, the part that got mad about that has passion, wants something else.
what is the part that got mad want?
I mean, right, like it, why would it want me to feel bad? Like why, it's like it's I feel bad. And then when I asked that question, it felt like it wants me to feel bad. Why does it want me to feel bad?
Is it because it wants you to keep going?
But why does it always make me shut down? It wants
Feel bad about stopping
Yeah,
so that
yeah, yeah,
you will return to it, keep
yeah,
going.
yeah.
So the part that like is angry and is holding a grudge, it wants you to keep going. It's angry at the pauses.
Um, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And
So
it
it's
made a story that the pauses meant something bad, but I'm updating it. It doesn't feel so bad that I paused. I'm not, it's all kind of softening.
is the part that holds grudges kind of like receiving the update that the pauses are part of the process.
I like that. Hadn't thought of that. Oh, that's like intense. It's really intense because accepting it's part of the process is like, oh, it's like deep self acceptance. It's the opposite of like, oh, I'd be better off if things were different.
Same thing with mistakes, right? Mistakes are part of the learning process.
Yeah. Yeah, really, it's really airing thing. It's really moving some stuff because just it trying to say that it's part of the process. My whole back tensed up, my shoulders tensed up, um, because that's like a letting go of my excuses. Like it's like a real identity update. Like who am I without those excuses? Like that I'm not further along, that I'm supposed to be somewhere else. It's like a lot of heavy stuff, of heavy mental stuff. It's kind of related to Hollywood. I don't know if this relates to, if it's some way this relates to people in all walks of life, or if it's specific to um create art, being artists and Hollywood combined, where the Hollywood industry, you get like, it wasn't as developed, but I had some spiritual practices, but you get really caught in competing. It's very competitive. And seeing other people with the similar skills as me blow up, be on Netflix, to like that started when I start, you know what I mean? That like I've used this story as my excuse, all this, all the pausing, all the quitting as this excuse. Oh, because what if I had showed up and then didn't make it? Then like, oh, it's really, really deep work, accepting my life path, accepting my life as it is. Um, so yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
So there's more acceptance coming in, more acceptance of the pauses as part of the process and the mistakes as part of the process.
And I feel like kind of dumb and a little bit of shame. Like, why didn't I see this before? You know, why can't I see it? But when you're the artist and you're that product, it's challenging, you know. But philosophically, I could say it to you, like it's part of the process. Like you're like that's what it was meant to be because it is, and like it all makes perfect sense if I was looking at it outside of myself. But these things have been so ingrained, like if only this, if only that. And back to today, a week ago, if only I had not pinned you. There's a sense, this, oh, the okayness is coming through. I can feel movement. My neck softened and it's starting to like go up here. And it kind of just wants to be, it wants to be left in the softness right now, and it wants to just let it be. My brain is, yeah, wants to take, yeah. I want to change gears and check in with you.
Okay. There's nothing else in your system that wants to happen, then just leave it there.
It wants to take a, it's like that was a lot of brain energy,
Okay.
a lot of different awareness and seeing.
I feel a lot of resonance for the pattern of being really unregulated by a simple, like everyday mistake and the like it doesn't make sense that a simple mistake could like bring up all this stuff, and then the pattern of perceiving mistakes as failures and
Mhm.
it impacting me in a way that slows down my momentum.
Yeah, feels like really cool. We can look at this stuff.
Yeah, totally. Did I tell you I have a shirt? I got a shirt that says I'll make better mistakes tomorrow, because I'm
No,
making a shirt for each one of my parts, and I have a part, but it's a cluster of parts because it's not just one part, it's a little cluster. It's the part that makes the mistakes, and the part that judges the part that makes mistakes, and just like how you're talking about your cluster of parts. I got a shirt for the cluster of parts, and the shirt says, I'll make better mistakes tomorrow.
I love that. I'm gonna write it down.
But today I'm gonna wear my shirt that says I don't know, which I think is what I wore last week. And it's gonna be I don't know because today's my first day that I'm gonna go to the studio. And the invitation that I received was to like show up and act as if my name was on the facilitator list.
Hmm.
Nervousness about like knowing that my tendency is to be shy and to like hide and to not speak much, and there's like a story that that's okay to do that as a participant, but that I'm supposed to like bring myself in more as a facilitator, and the balance of um like how do I do that while still being authentic, and I guess just naming all that stuff is just doing the practice while still naming what is and trying to be here with it all, with all the imperfection.
How do you feel about like when you're empty and spacious when you're listening to someone? Does that feel like something you would be able to share?
Um, I almost feel like I need to like be in it to describe it, and I was wondering if I was feeling like empty and spacious when I was with you just right now when we were focusing you, but I would say no because it felt like I was like focused and there was a little bit of like trying to keep track of the parts and where we're going and how much we've been with each one of them. So it wasn't just totally empty spaciousness. So I think that's also part of like what's somehow now I'm feeling like I don't know. Like I noticed this at the beginning of efforting to try to finish some kind of a sentence and make sense, and then just it's like too much effort to like make sense of something that I don't really know.
That happened right now. Sorry, got a leg cramp. Uh, did that happen just right now?
Yeah,
So what's that like to share? You don't know the
right
empty.
now it's right now with you it's okay.
What's the quality of that emptiness like?
I don't think that I don't know felt. I would say it's more there was efforting and then there was a noticing of the efforting and then a just release of the trying to figure it out. So there was release is the overall release of the trying, a little bit more relaxation, a little bit more peace.
And that feels full and rich to hear. What's that like to say? Does that feel like you're speaking to the big energy world? Do you feel that when you share like that?
Do I feel now I feel spacey or like I'm trying to follow you and then I keep forgetting
Cool, perfect.
what the
What
question was.
what's it like now, trying to follow me, not being able to? Like, what can you describe your experience?
Um,
Besides,
right now, since it's just us two, it's okay. I think I feel a slight like there's embarrassment is sitting way on the outskirts, but I have a sense of knowing that embarrassment could be here if it was a larger group, if it was a group of people, and like I'm afraid of I don't know, and then there be would being embarrassment because I don't know. I'm suddenly remembering like moments at the gym where they'll show a drill and I'm confused and not knowing if I'm doing it right. And then there's like embarrassment, like pressure to do it right. And then there's embarrassment of not being able to do it right.
that's like doing a move at the gym. And how you shared your experience to me feels so rich and so like, if you're with someone speaking and you're with listening as you do, and they blah blah, and then it's your turn to speak or whatever, and then you say something like, with you, I was efforting to follow you, and then I released the efforting. That feels so good to receive, because a lot of it, like a lot of times we are stuck in our heads, and like you're not getting caught in that. You're like noticing the efforting. You're notice like that's a rich reflection to me.
That I feel that feels reassuring. And then I wonder and then there's a fear of it happening all the time. There's like I'm noticing like that it's only okay for that to happen a certain amount of time. And then if it happens more than a certain amount of time, then it's like then that means that I'm means something about me.
What is it?
It's
What does it
it
mean?
doesn't mean something about me in either instance, whether it happens all the time or not too often. But I guess if it happens all the time, then it means like I'm stupid and can't follow people or something like that, which is another common loop.
The dumb dog,
Yeah,
stupid dog.
yeah.
So being aware of like how aware you are of efforting and letting go of the efforting and all the noticing, like, can that be done without intelligence? I mean, that doesn't seem like there's any stupidity in any of what you're doing.
I think now there's a judgment that that's all really heady and now like I'm not doing it good enough. Good like better would be it would be better if I could do this like embodied talking about body sensations or something. Which isn't like another pattern. Then now I'm noticing another pattern that it's like no matter what I say, it's always not good enough.
Yeah, it lands in me like you're, it's really complicated and deep. It's like you're all these tools develop so much. You have a lot of presence, active list, like you have all this skill, it's kind of what I'm hearing you say is like, but you never do it right.
Where there's a part, I mean, I definitely noticed that there's a lot less of the like belief. Like there, like now it's, I can tell that that's just one part that has that idea, and it doesn't have to be totally destabilizing. Like I noticed more like access to choice to like choose to like acknowledge that part and be okay, where before there was less of a choice and it was like that part would say something and it would become like it would overwhelm me and I would be overwhelmed and challenging feelings about what that one part said. So
You went like,
it
hmm.
is freaking hard, man. Listening to all the parts is hard. There's a part that's annoyed by all the other parts and all their talking that they do, all the loops that they are constantly in.
Is that a new annoyance or is that always, has that been there a long time or?
I think that's always been there too, but even that before was like a lot more, there was intensity behind that too. And there's just a lot more softness around all of the parts, all of the critical stuff. I can just hear it and acknowledge it, but it doesn't have to like overwhelm me.
What happens if you don't have the part determining if you're doing a good job or not?
If I don't have the part that's determining if I'm doing a good job or not, the word that comes up is like that's what it's helping with attunement. It's seeing if I'm doing it right so I could attune to the group, what the group wants, to the vibrational frequency that we're all trying to be in. So I'll be like out of
So it's
rhythm.
helping, this part's helping you attune,
Yeah.
but it also overwhelms you. Is that a different part?
If I'm not doing it right, the part that's looking if I'm not doing it right, yeah, it can also be overwhelming in that it like impacts my momentum and makes me want to take a step back and like you were talking about too, like the momentum slows down if I let that part impact me too much.
It's happening now.
Um, just kind of like tiredness from a really big IFS session that I had this morning. And there's this overall sense of like catharsis. Like there was a lot of work. It's kind of like like emotionally, energetically, the equivalent of like having worked out for 3 or 4 hours and then there's just like all this fatigue and all this like soreness and
Mhm.
tiredness, but there's like a really good feeling of like I did the work and a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction about the work that I've been doing, but there's a lingering like residual challenging stuff there that I've been with today. Like a knowing that the challenging stuff is it sounds like what you said earlier, like a no, like knowing that the challenging stuff is there, but it's like sitting on the outskirts, but like a wanting to end in the feeling of catharsis and the like good tiredness, resting in the good tired in the tiredness that feels. I'm looking for some kind of a workout word where it's like the muscles have been ripped and now it's time for like repair or like the I don't know. I'm looking for precisely the right word, which is where I can sometimes get stuck. So I'll just
Takes me into like being with you in the sense of like you've worked out your awareness presence muscles, so like you're really strong. You're really like you've been working them out.
recovery. That was the word.
Recovery, yeah.
Recovery.
But you know you're aware of how skilled you are. When this part comes on and questions you, there is another part that has knows how good you are at this stuff and how like is there a part that's confident about? Or is they're just the what's that part like?
It like wavers. Like it's like hard to say yes. And then there's like a bunch of disclaimers wanting to come in or one bunch of wanting to say like yes if I'm one on one, if I'm with my friends, if I'm with people that I know for a really long time, and just like
See,
noticing the nuance of all the other factors that of all the factors that influence my skill.
you said this a couple times and over the time we've been together. I'm just catching it now, but like, what is why makes it different between like we're comfortable, we've been together with each other, but even on a one-on-one, I think you're saying that it's easier for you. What? Curious, like why when there's another witness, what changes it? There's another human here. What happens?
It's like when it gets bigger than a group of five, then I start to get, then the anxiety starts building up.
And what what changes that another person change adds this anxiety? Do you have a sense? I'm super curious.
I don't know. That there was like images that just flashed in my mind, and it was like an image of when I was 12 years old and I was like jumped when I was walking home from school, and then an image of like the stuff that's been happening on the news and the like protests and riots and like
Like right between two big ones. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. So
So
yeah, just like how scary a group can be. Like it's
when
so
you
much
were
more ridiculous.
12, a group jumped you when you were 12?
Yeah, yeah. Somebody was like, just said, I heard that you were talking shit about me. And I didn't know this girl or what the heck she was talking about. And I was like, are you sure it's me? Like, what are you talking about? And then somebody like shoved me from the back. And then they were, all three of them were kind of like gonna try to beat me up for no reason. I didn't know any of them.
Hmm. It's hard. So that's so there's a bigger group and there's like you might have that state of being in that state of feeling possibly threatened. It's really interesting in that story that you didn't do anything wrong, didn't know them, but you still got jumped. And it's like when I hear you talking about being in a session as a facilitator, I just look at you and the skills and it's like there's no there's nothing you can't do it wrong. Like I just don't it doesn't even compute in my system. Look, knowing you and seeing you, like there's no wrong. You're not gonna there's no wrong moves. You're not the wrong moves are like not on your, you don't go into long-winded stories about yourself, or you don't attack people. Like, you don't take things personally. It's like there's this something in like you didn't do anything wrong, and just being yourself, being authentic. Like, what if it's misinterpreted and they don't even know you? Like, what if they see some, like, it's landing in me now, like the wrongness isn't even you. Is it how they see you?
I think maybe there's like a concern of like, what if there's no one there to like stick up for me and I just have to like fight for myself, and am I like powerful enough to stand up for myself? Yeah, that seems to be like a core theme that has come up through like some of the IFS sessions that I've done. Is there's like a few other like um deep like emotional moments that have come up for me in other like IFS sessions. Like there's a part that like when I was um seeing stuff about what's happening on the news, that there was a part that said, I'm a citizen of the planet Earth. Um, like, how dare you harass me with your like imaginary boundaries? And there was like just so much grief and so much like anger. Um, I don't, okay, how does that relate? I guess it was about like uh feelings of powerlessness and feelings of like being up against some oppressive energy and not having the power to defend myself.
Put me on imaginary boundaries. Just when you're speaking about the news, I know it was talking about the news, but it feels like imaginary boundaries. I don't know. Just hit me
Mm,
like in a session, or it's like linked to the safety of your personhood and the entities of being putting on these imaginary boundaries. It feels like it feels like, I don't, if you're in a session and there's more than 5 people, are there imaginary boundaries?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure something out, and like I can make it into something. Like I can make it be like, what if I accidentally cross somebody's unnamed boundaries that I didn't know that they had, or that they didn't know that they had, or something? But there's a sense of, now I'm kind of like, is am I just lost? Is that even really a thing that I'm really afraid of? Like there's a lot of uncertainty about whether this is even anything, or whether I'm just
Feels rich to me, like
spirals.
crossing somebody's unknown boundary, or like you couldn't see it. It feels like that 12-year-old story. Like, did you, get mistaken identity, or did you say past the salt and someone heard something else? Something like, and now you're beholden to this exterior world of like, are you safe? And then the reality of our time right now, it's intense. Like, I don't want to go near any of these things. But they're, it's not just they're doing weird stuff. They're taking innocent people that were born here, and there's stuff going on that's pretty scary. But I imagine your session tonight. I imagine you being there, like assessing unconsciously somewhere, like, is this safe? Is this the group that's jumping? Is this the riots? Like, all in the body. What's that like to hear? I don't know. I'm with you.
Um, Yeah, hearing like it's all in the body. Like, yeah, it probably is. There's this like tightness and underneath my shoulder blades that I have felt there like forever. And I so wish that I could just get a muscle relaxer injected into those so that I could like feel relaxation for once in like 20 years. It seems like those spots have been tight for 20 years. I don't even remember what it's like to have them be relaxed. So yeah, that tightness, that fear of being obliterated and not being able to stand up for myself is definitely in the muscle tightness in my body.
So sometimes you're in a session and you're like looking for something to say or noticing the efforting, and then oh shoot, muscle, and then your muscle tightness, like, and then you speak, and then what happens? Like when you speak and it's not exactly what you wanted to say.
I'm thinking of a specific person that I get like lots of challenging feelings around. And it's like I perceive this person to be really intelligent. And sometimes I feel so maybe intimidated by their intelligence that there's so much fear that I can't even hear them correctly. And I think I start perceiving what they're saying as having some kind of double meaning, or there's something underneath what they're saying. And I'm so um like wrapped up in feelings of they're outwitting me, and it just feels really intense that they're like smarter and that people are going to think I'm stupid. And then it changed me. It like it sends me into like this whole dysregulated mess.
Because you don't feel comfortable, you wouldn't share that because that's
I
how you.
wouldn't before, maybe now, because this was like the person that I'm thinking about. This was like many months ago. So the people that have been challenging that I feel dysregulated against, it's been when I'm with them, it's been many months since then. So like I feel optimistic that it could be different this time.
Is it okay to be dysregulated and to name that in a session?
Um, yeah, I guess so. I guess it has to be because that's what's true.
Yeah, yeah. There's the smile. There's like it took like for a while there was just this resignation look on your face, like, mhm. And then like oh, that one moment you're like, oh, I guess it has to be true to name dysregulation or I'm just with you in that little in that care, that little that spot of just that cared so much the way how you show up and this part the part of you that's really trying to make sure that you know are safe, don't get jumped. Like I feel into that beauty now. Um, I just see like it's like you're so skilled.
Mm.
It's this warm, I don't know, it feels warm to me now. This warm part of you that's like looking out for you, but it's kind of been overly. What's it like now? The part that's been um the sounds like so you're with people and you're noticing the things, and then there's this extra part that's like um judging of what you're gonna say or if it's okay to speak your truth.
Yeah, I think what I'm with now is that there's a sense of more like courage coming in, and like seeing a like a part of me that says that this is that like doing the relateful thing or facilitating in the leadership with the relateful company is just like a step in the longer journey towards um like speaking about experiences that are something about like public speaking or advocacy or giving voice to something that's happening. Or maybe it's just bringing these skills to other people so that they can put words to their experience or something. But like a sense that this is just one step on a journey to bigger things with more meaning than just being a relateful facilitator.
Like you said to me earlier, like mistakes are part of the path, or
Yeah.
I don't know how if you're needing to go, you can stay.
I could stay a few more minutes. Yeah. I just was thinking of my like the IFS session that I just had ended with um the facilitator was saying how like I have to go and like find the parts of myself that there's a storm that's about to happen and I have to go find the parts of myself before the storm like hits so that my parts aren't like left in the storm. And so I think when you said that like mistakes happen, there was a sense of like I think I'm with some like I don't want to say like ominous feeling like something bad is going to happen, but like in a smaller way, like it's like maybe more acceptance of like, yeah, something like there's always a storm that's going to come. And like I just have to have courage to be with the storm and be with the mistakes and be with people misperceiving me and painful things happening.
Speaking from your truth, is that ever wrong?
Yeah, yeah. Is speaking for my truth ever around?
Wrong.
Oh, sometimes there's a sense of uh sometimes there's like a lack of clarity that makes it look wrong. Yeah.
I just want to keep doing the coaching thing is naming it. I don't know, but like I want to phrase this sentence. What bad thing happens if you speak from your truth tonight?
If I'm like, why now I notice myself like reframing the question, and I don't know if I'm just not answering the question or if I should answer the reframe.
No, reframe it.
Well, the reframe was like what it was like, what happens if I'm good at being a like a relateful facilitator? And it's like, well, that's one step on this bigger journey, and this bigger journey does like involve such devotion to something that like like there's a dramatic part that it's almost like not literal, but the emotion behind this statement is what is true. That like there's this part that has so much devotion that it says I have to be willing to like die for the cause.
Mm. It's like a death to speak from your deeper.
It's more of like a like just this commitment and like willingness to like endure.
Willingness to take risks, or no?
Yeah, I guess.
What about what bad thing happens if you speak from your I don't know? space?
Then I could be misrepresenting, but that's if I just talk about my own experience. Well, I could still be taken to like, I don't, yeah, I was about to say I don't know again, but now it seems, I don't know.
So what's it like to not know right now?
Uh, it's okay. I don't feel like I'm in any danger or like anything bad is going to happen. It's just okay.
And I just was curious, like, do you think that there are better ways for a human to be like in a state? Like, is it better to be intellectual or is it better to be like, is there like is it better to be present and empty? Like, do you have any, and maybe it's wrong, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but do you have a do you have like a scale or a preference in yourself of those things? Because you mentioned intelligence.
I think my preference would be to be in like self energy, which would be to be aware of what all the parts are doing, but to not be acting from the desperation or confusion or frustration or whatever it is that they're feeling, and to like be holding them and to be bringing like love and compassionate energy towards them and also towards others, and to just be in a state of like love and compassion is my preferred state. If I had a magic wand, I would be there all the
I
time
love that.
there.
I love that. And so, do you have any, can you do that on command? Can you, is that something that just happens or is that something you choose?
I would say that like the spiritual parts say yes, it's always there and I always have the choice, but the human parts would say that like a lot of times it doesn't feel like a choice, and I don't, it doesn't seem like I have access to it. It doesn't seem like I have control.
And
And
when you're in a state of emptiness and not knowing what to say, is there any other like, is it completely blank or is there any empathy or compassion there in the emptiness?
yeah, there's usually a lot of compassion, and sometimes the empathy is what is overwhelming. Sometimes I think I'm feeling so much empathy that like my pain receptors are going off when someone's talking about their painful thing, and like it's almost like there's so much pain happening in me that I can't even put words to it, especially because it's like it's not even my pain. So there's
And
this.
with that, when you're looking at that kind of pain, you're saying you still have it, you're still holding it with some empathy and compassion, or that is,
I'm holding their experience with empathy and compassion, and my experience of the like not knowing what to say. There's like a lot of pressure and tension,
and
not so much room for empathy for myself.
what bad thing happens if you say, I don't know what to say?
Then people feel unheard, or like I'm not with them,
Oh, okay.
like I'm not, or maybe it's just me thinking like it's my own expectations that I want to have something to offer. So then when I don't, it's, there's a bad feeling of not having something to offer to show that I'm with them.
And saying, I don't know what to say is not showing that you're with them.
I, I think there's like a part that prefers to have something with more depth, then I don't know what to say.
Yeah, and I can feel into like there's multiple ways. Like you could say, I don't know what to say, and it brushed me off. Or you could say like, oh, I'm really taking this all in and I'm feeling all these things happening inside, but I don't know what to say. Do you does that would you feel like I could still be with you without knowing what to say? Or would you look at me like I wasn't with you?
I can see that there's ways in which the voice and the manner of saying something means more than the actual words.
It feels like the pressure of doing it right, the pressure of this is part of your path, and like it feels like there's a lot at stake, in a way, and so then there's the pressure is like, yeah, um, feels like the meaning making of your responses are um not as attuned as or trusting that like sharing that what's really happening for you is you don't have your thoughts in a sentence form to speak or what like when you share whatever is really happening for you um
What?
when you when you share whatever's really happening for you, do you have do, do you have a philosophical perspective that that's what we're doing when we do the practice? You've said that if it's truth and then it comes out. It just landed in me that you landed in like the hypersensitivity that you're doing with the looking at your responses. The it doesn't it like it feels like you wouldn't obviously you wouldn't put that on anybody else. But like, oh, they weren't with me because they didn't form a sentence, right?
I don't know. I can see way times that I've been like judgmental that somebody didn't get me or that they weren't with me or it's like, ugh, they weren't even listening. Or like even if it when it's not me, like there has been moments where like I hear someone giving someone else a reflection and that's not at all what I understood from what that person said. And then I'm just like, that person was not listening at all. So there is judgment. So yeah, I do have some kind of judgment about like if people can't give good reflections, then they maybe they weren't listening.
But is it ever true that you weren't actually listening when you're not able to give a reflection? Is that like from the stories you've shared with me, it always feels like you were listening versus I wasn't listening. Like then the truest thing is like, oh, well, I'm not the right person to give you a reflection because I wasn't listening. That would be true. But like, it doesn't sound like that's the case with. It's not like you weren't listening.
Yeah,
But if you don't speak the right words, they might think you weren't listening.
yeah.
But it's energy and can't really do. How does your perspective on it spiritually, like, or whatever term, metaphysically or whatever? Like, what's the term like? Like, do you believe that there's beings that are communicating outside of our mouths and are that you can feel when someone's listening or like energetically, like no matter what they said or what if they stumbled on their words or whatever, but you would still know they were listening because you could feel it?
Yeah.
and you don't trust that with others with you. You don't trust that they would feel heard from that field, that feeling you, feeling the feeling field, feeling seen and heard. I'm just kind of poking holes because it feels like your framework is so holding you because it wants you to succeed, and it's like holding you in this way that like I think you see, like you look, if it wasn't you, if you were me talking to you, you would see what I see, that it just keeps landing, it just keeps coming to me like you can't do it wrong, like you're too developed and too skilled to like do it wrong. There's That's not an option for you anymore. That's why they've invited you.
I feel warm and reassured, and yeah, there's this like frustration in like continuing to repeat something, and then there's this other knowing that like I kind of in a way almost have explored all of this so many times, and at the end it's like it's all just a, what do you call it? Like ah, I'm looking for some word about like it's like a math word or something, and or maybe it's a falsified some there's it's not true, it's not true, and the like it's almost like I keep saying I'm afraid of something, and then when I say like how do I know I'm afraid or what's behind the fear, then there's like nothing, it just evaporates and it's all an illusion, and then it's like frustrating because it's like I already know it's all an illusion, why do I keep saying that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's, I feel like I've like that feels like you're seeing it from a new vantage, or like, and it just comes up, the word trust just came up hearing you. Trust not just yourself, but trust that they feel your attunement. They feel you.
I was so quiet during Relateful camp though. So it wasn't that long ago. But yeah, I'm just gonna have courage and call in the courage to speak up and show up and whatever. Keep
And
doing
I
it.
just really encourage you as a friend, like, to share that emptiness that you get to taste. Like that you we like there's a many of us come because we want that. Like that's why I was asking you what your spiritual perspective, what's the highest place, like you said compassion and empathy, right? And it's like in my world at the moment when I was asking, the answer was emptiness.
Mm.
like, like no thought, like how hard I work in a meditation to get there. And when you have it, you're like, oh no, this isn't good enough to share. There's not enough substance. But that texture of emptiness is substance. Like I long for it, and I don't think I'm alone. So I'm like, let them taste it. Let us have more of this place that you can go to, and it feels like you're really there. It doesn't feel fake. It doesn't feel like you're pretending to be empty because you think it's the right place to be. Like you could have a part that's like pretend to be empty so that they like you and see you as a meditator, and in this moment you're so present, you have no thoughts. Like that's the to me that's like the goal. So you like reach the goal, and then you're like, I'm not going to share it, it's not good enough. No one gets to taste my empty spaciousness. And tracking that, you let go of efforting, all of that, we're all doing these things without our awareness, and like you bring awareness to it, and it's so beautiful, and like the simplicity of it. And so I'm just, you know sharing my opinion and supporting you in this thing. But hearing you over these different times, multiple times, like the place that you freeze and stop is like, wait, but that's what I want to touch. The unknown, not knowing what to say. Oh, that feels so good, not knowing what to say. It feels so good that you don't have a direct response to somebody's, maybe they're so disconnected, and a, a non-response is like the most amazing thing they could ever receive. So I don't know, I feel like a broken record, like I've said this before, but
Thank you. It feels reassuring. It feels, I feel good. I feel optimistic and courage, optimism, courage, and like trust in the flow and the ability to just, it's almost like the first thing I was gonna say is to like keep moving forward, but it's almost like to just like allow
Allow.
time to like flow through me.
I love that. So this is awesome. Is there anything else you wanted?
No, I feel good. Yeah.
Um, it's really exciting you're going tonight. If you have time tomorrow, I want to do a follow-up recording
Okay.
whenever. I'm just like, you know how it is the sooner after an event. If you feel like I'm pretty open, tomorrow's Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm game. I have uh availability at 3 p.m.
Okay,
You want to do tomorrow at 3?
sure.
Okay, sounds good.
Tomorrow, um, tomorrow's Wednesday, right?
Yes, Wednesday at 3 my time, so that'll be 4 your time.
One my time. I'm 2 hours earlier, right? So like right now, what time is it? It's almost two. Is it almost four?
Yes. Okay, sounds good.
Awesome. We'll have fun tonight.
Cool. Thanks. See you soon.
You
I'll let you
soon.
know how it goes, or I'll talk
Okay,
to you tomorrow. Okay,
great.
thanks. Bye.